Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Danny here. Today I'm talking to you about EX Arm. So EX Arm is a manga published in Shonen Jump Plus, written by Hyrock and drawn by Shinya Komi, and this ran from February 2015, ended June 2019, with a total of 98 chapters, but there's no official translations for this, so today we're only talking about 41 chapters. And this isn't the first time this duo has written this story. They originally did a series called EX Vita, which was 12 chapters long. From what they say in EX Arm, that's just an alternative setting. So to me, that sounds like that was the build-up, and then now we're here with the official story. So alright, let's get into it, man. This stars our main character, Akira Natsume, and he's a timid high school boy who has one great flaw, and that is he is not well versed in technology. So he doesn't have a phone. He has problems just working with it. He gets nervous and all that stuff. But he's a really good cook. But without a phone, his friends get distance. Like, what? You don't have a phone? I guess we'll hang out next time, kind of thing. So he kind of hates that. He wants to try to improve that in his life. But for some other strange reason, he has a gift of fixing technology that he can't use. His older brother's girlfriend visits the house and says, hey, my phone's acting weird. Can you look at it? And he just has to focus, analyze everything, and boom, he could just fix it right off the bat. And after talking to his brother about, hey, how did you change, man? Because you weren't how you were back in the day. Through effort and hard work, it changed who I am for the better. And of course, Akira's like, man, do I really want to put in the work for that? That sounds like too much. As he goes to the store, this girl's being mugged. He just walks away because he's like, that's not me. I'm not that guy. But last minute, he decides, you know what? No, this is the moment to change. And so that's when he turns around and goes to dash to save her. But when he does that, boom, a truck hits him. And then we jump into the future, which is 2030. So it's 16 years later. And when he awakens, we find out that he is now a weapon called an EX Arm. It's only his brain that's cased in this suitcase that's indestructible, basically. And he has the ability to just hack anything. If you plug him into a system, he could visualize what he's doing as if it's his own body and then go from there. But that's a dangerous weapon. The EX series, as we come to find out, are pieces of technology that shouldn't exist yet. And it's up to the division that was set up in Tokyo to capture them. So a bunch of hurdles go through, so he decides to help. If that means he is not going to be condemned as just an object, he wants to be recognized as a human being. And so he's helping this team by going to collect all the EX arms. As soon as you're done working with us, we could possibly clone you a body using some of your brain tissue so you can have your body again. So that's his goal, capture all the EX arms, get his real body back. But that isn't all that's going on with the story. That's the main premise. But the big thing that kind of pushed me off from reading this is that he wakes up in the future in a female android's body. And that's sort of true. We have this police duo, Minami and Alma. And Alma's an android. Akira is able to go into her system and control her body. And so with the division, there's restrictions on Akira's movements and accessibility to technology. So while he's on missions, he's either in the suitcase or like this little camera thing. And then when he wants to join in the field, he takes over Alma's body. So I thought it was just going to be him stuck in the body the entire time. But instead, it's just him using the body when he's permitted to. So that way he could do other things rather than just sitting there. This is one of those mangas where the story is decent to, there's some interesting stuff going on, but that's not the real selling point. The real selling point is the setting, which is the future, but it's not the too distant future. So it's not true cyberpunk, but there's enough there to where there's female androids all over the place. There are body enhancements, and there is some cool technology for military purposes. So we have that setting with the combination of nothing but etchiness almost every chapter, the way the art is drawn. It's there. That's the big selling point. You could tell by the volume 1 cover. Maybe I shouldn't take it too seriously because of this premise. And I think the story's fine. it's good on its own. There's definitely more going on, and we did get reveals of some characters that were being hinted at previously, and I'm hoping whenever we get the rest of the chapters translated, we'll dive more into that, and it just goes into this bigger scheme of things of why is Akira the EX arm 00? Why was he there during the destruction of Tokyo? The downtime and character progression is kind of there, but more or less it's just focused on we have to get to the next mission, we have to find the EX arms, let's go do something. And there's nothing wrong with that kind of manga. I think the action is pretty nice, and there is a moment where Akira can take over this mech suit and just go ham fighting this android in this giant mech suit, and just seeing like all the cool stuff that you want to see in a sort of futuristic setting is great. And with the main supporting cast for Akira, right, the unit that he works for, all the characters are as you expect them to be, so there's really no surprises there, but it's always a nice combination to see with all the staff on that team. There was a nice arc where they have to dive into Akira's mind and just the certain things going on in there. There's a lot of understandings and not too clear understandings when it comes to Akira because of his body. And by going in through this arc, we get more sympathy for him. Some great moments about the question of, is he even human anymore? Is he a person? What's going on? Similar topics to what Alita brought up, right? Because as well with Minami, one of her character traits is that she treats androids like real people. Her best friend is Alma, but she's an android, but she doesn't think of it like that in a sense. So we have a lot of questioning from that. Akira being thrusted into this world and is trying to adjust as best as he can, still doesn't understand what's really going on. There's a situation with a bunch of androids and, he feels their pain, he understands, but of course Alma, his body, doesn't understand that either because she's looking at it from just the numbers and logistical situation, and he's very emotional about it. So they're attempting to have that conversation in this manga like they did in Alita, and it's doing all right so far. There's some good antagonists that come in that have the EX arms, and the uniqueness of each one is pretty cool. It really shows that, like, yes, this technology shouldn't exist yet. This is from the future. It's alien tech. Who knows what it is? And then there's more set up to what's going on in the long run of things. Like the bigger scope of how these came about. I think we're going to be getting that answer soon, hopefully. But they've been teasing that here and there. So it's going to be interesting to see how that builds up. So overall, this manga, it's in the middle. It's in the middle of decent and really good. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. It's always good to just kick back and read something like that every now and then. Just get the enjoyment that it's delivering. And I only wish the rest of the chapters were out so I could keep reading it. But we shall see what happens. So with that, that's all I really have to say, guys. Thanks for listening to the episode. Have you read it, or have you watched that would look like a really bad CG anime? We'd love to hear your thoughts. You can email us at universepodcast@gmail.com, and you could follow us at universepodcast anywhere you go, and we'll let you know when future episodes drop. So thank you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.